Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, do the roll call, please. Here.
Vera. Here. Lashore.
Here.
Sayer.
Here.
Miller is here. Hauser.
Here.
Wilson. Here. All are present.
Thank you. The adoption of the agenda for the evening. I would like, before we do that, I would like to add number 4 under new business. It would be the Davis Park Bridge inspection.
I'll make the motion to amend the agenda, adopt the agenda with the amendment of adding new business number 4, Davis Park Bridge by Spicer Group inspection.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded to adopt the agenda with the inclusion of the Davis Park Bridge inspection. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Yes, that Pastor Sinclair has arrived. Appreciate it. We'd still like to do the invitation, sir.
I'll just catch my breath and then we'll begin.
Yeah, okay, take your time.
Great God, you're the creator of all of us. You know us from the inside out. So on this night, grant that our noblest desires to serve you and our neighbors will be afforded us as we seek your wisdom and act with fairness and kindness. This we pray for the leaders and citizens here in Bridgeport, at our state capital in Lansing, and for our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. as well, that we may honor you and show our profound gratitude for all of your benefits to us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, approval of the minutes of the March 4th, 2014 regular meeting. Could we have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of March 14, 2014 regular meeting as presented.
March 4th.
March 4th.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Everyone, I assume, will have a chance to read them. Any changes, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Now we'll move along to the public comment section. Before we start, first thing I would like to do is, this is printed on the back of every agenda that sits out there when people come in, but I'd like to read through. Rules of public comment, participation in board meetings. The Bridgeport Charter Township Board recognizes the value of public comment on township issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on matters of community interest. But for the benefit of all and in the interest of all, the following rules of participation in public comment shall apply at all meetings as allowed by the Open Meetings Act. Any person or group wishing to place an item on the agenda shall register their intent in writing with the township no later than 7 days prior to the meeting. Include the name and address of the participant, the group affiliation, and the topic to be addressed. The town administrator or presiding officer of each board meeting at which public participation is permitted shall administer the rules of the the board for its conduct. The township administrator or presiding officer shall be guided by the following rules. Number 1, attendees must register their intention to participate in the public portion of the meeting upon their arrival at the meeting. Just a comment on that. By the way, these have been in effect for a long, long time, approved by previous boards. We don't include that in our minutes, and some people are reluctant to get up and speak publicly. So having them in and along with the second one, participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and will be requested to preface their comments by an announcement of their name and address and group affiliation, if and when appropriate. And I haven't really pushed that one either. Again, I realize that some people are not accustomed to speaking in front of groups of people. A lot of that doesn't go into the meetings, so I haven't really pushed that one either. Hopefully that just makes people more comfortable and less, or more likely, I should say, to get up and make public comment. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes duration unless extended by the presiding officer. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic. To ensure that all interested parties have an opportunity to speak, please be brief and limit your comments on one topic, to one topic. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. The board will not respond to comments made during public participation periods unless it is necessary to ask a clarifying question, correct a factual error, or provide specific factual information in answer to a direct question. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, or terminate a participant's statement when the statement is too lengthy, personally directed, abusive, obscene, or irrelevant. Request any individual to leave the meeting when that person does not observe reasonable decorum. Request the assistance of law enforcement officers in the removal of a disorderly person when that person's conduct interferes with the orderly progress of the meeting. Call for a recess or an adjournment to another time when the lack of public decorum so interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting as to warrant such action. Having read the rules, I'd like to make a statement. The purpose of our township board meeting is to conduct township business. The state and federal courts have held that a township board meeting is not a free speech forum like a public park or your office or home. Municipal meetings are what the courts refer to as a limited public forum, where municipalities must regulate the time, place, and manner of the comments. Our rules of public comment and participation were adopted pursuant to rules established by our state and federal courts. These court decisions specifically call for townships to prohibit speech that is repetitive, harassing, frivolous, personally directed, abusive, or irrelevant. The courts have also upheld time restrictions of less than 3 minutes on public comments. Our rules allow public comment. Rule 3 limits comment to 3 minutes pursuant to court decisions. Rule 4 prohibits a person from speaking more than once on a topic pursuant to court decisions. Rule 8 states the presiding officer may interrupt, warn, terminate a participant's statement when the statement is too lengthy, personally directive, abusive, obscene, or irrelevant. Request any individual to leave the meeting when that person does not observe a reasonable decorum, when that person's conduct interferes with the orderly progress of the meeting. Rule 8 was adopted pursuant to specific state and federal court decisions. We look forward to public comment, whether positive or negative. The comments must comply with the rules, and the speaker must observe reasonable public decorum and not interfere with the orderly progress of the meeting. These rules have been in effect for years, and we've had very few issues. We look forward forward to continuing orderly public comment in the future. Thank you. With that, public comments now open. Coach Mike.
All right, very good. I won't keep too long. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Garnett Lewis. I'm running for state senate this year in the 32nd district. That's all of Saginaw County and the western townships of Genesee. So you all will begin to see me at the doors and probably hear from me in the next several months. We start Saturday pretty heavy with our field work. So I look forward to meeting you all in the future. Sorry to turn my back to you. Very rude. And thank you for the time. And we've got some information for folks. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Sukan, Chamber of Commerce. On your places, there's an invitation to the business after hours. Going to be hosted tomorrow evening, 5 to 7 at the Cass River Yacht Club. Everyone is welcome. I also left some back at the table there for anyone else that would be interested. Also, things that are going out at the Chamber of Commerce, there's a Facebook page. It's called Bridgeport Happenings. Please go to that, like it, check out the things that are happening in the Bridgeport and Bertrand communities. Also, there's a scavenger hunt attached to our app. You can go on to that, again, to Facebook, download that app, and you can participate in there. Lots of good prizes. The contest will run until Easter. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Alts, resident of Bridgeport. I have been a resident for 11 years now. And I'm really worried and concerned about my community. Not that it's being misguided for my kids. And to the effect that I'm here today, where I mind my business. I really do. I do what I have to do as a citizen. But when I'm out with my family, and I pay attention to what's going on in Bridgeport. I'm on Bridge Fest. I'm in Parks and Rec. I'm involved in the community. But when I'm out with my family and we're at Big Boy and I kick something down on the floor and I pull it up, and I have not been to a meeting before, and I missed the fireworks last month. And I got a hold of this copy. And I don't press judgment by the first page. I can honestly say that I'm, to a point, turned away from this memo here. And I'm sure you guys are all aware of this. It was from Adams Oil. He was handing it out last time from my research. And I apologize for bringing this up. But as a resident that's involved and knowing nothing about this, and I went online, looked at the minutes from last meeting, and then you addressed it where it wasn't included because it's public comment. I appreciate that because it does allow people to speak longer. But in this, and my confusions on the school districts, the township board, there is a loose string in our community, and I don't know where it's at, and if the board knew where it was at, they would mend that string. Here today is my attempt to sow. I am not a sower unless it's seeds, and I'm a farmer. However, I don't, and for the people here, I appreciate you coming out, and I apologize for not being here in the past. However, better hurry, right? How many seconds I got? I'm sorry. But where I'm at right now is there is a lack of faith. There's participation problems with the residents, and I'm calling all of you out that you need to be involved in your community. It is our community. They yay or nay. We decide. We are the residents of Bridgeport. So, short and sweet is that I would like to ask for an explanation just from Township on your side of the fence on what actually happened last month and how that is being addressed for the Township members. Because, yes, when I'm there and I'm like, what? Who? How? Seriously? In my community? No way. And then I did some research into it, you know. I had to ask questions. So I'm just like, is this someone's story that they're creating? Or is this real? Turns out this happened. Seen the video. So I'm just concerned that I need to do something for my community. I'm getting on more boards as I can. But if the board could publish a public statement regarding this incident, that would answer my needs. I'm not, you know, trying to change the world here. I just want an explanation. And lastly, I will move on to the fact that I have, in my travels and my meeting people of Bridgeport, they are dissatisfied with certain activities that have gone on and continue to go on. So, for me as a resident, and everybody else is basically my neighbor, I would like a town hall forum for us to discuss our schools, for us to discuss township happenings, for us to just discuss and move forward, rather than someone getting a hold of this and, like me, not knowing what's going on with it. So this can be on the table. So this can be understood by somebody like me. And if that's going to be possible, I would appreciate it. And if not, I don't want to create my own opinion on a situation that did occur. So, and I do have plans for a town hall forum, and it is very simple. Location, not a problem. Residents, we have some. Me, I'll dedicate my time. I have a few other people that will assist me, and I hope you guys would as well. But the people of Bridgeport need to have a neutral ground. They need to have a friendship with their board, to know that you are people rather than just people that are up on the board. So, at this point, can I make a movement to add something to the agenda for next month? And if that's a no answer, then I will have to do it 7 days prior to next meeting, and that's what I would like to do, is add a town hall forum discussion of who, how, when, where for next month's meeting. And just get the ball rolling. It's not a witch hunt. It's a community that needs to sew the mend that string that's loose. So in my finishing statement, I would like a public statement regarding what happened on what my township's doing about this, you know, and what we can do about a town hall meeting in the future. And with that, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Just to address a couple of things that you brought up. As far as the school system itself, obviously this board does not have anything to do with that, so that would have to be addressed at a school board. And I understand your concerns as a resident. I have the same concerns. I'm sure all the board does. Relative to that document that was passed out, at the present time, with the proceedings that are going on, we've been advised not to comment. Believe me, it's very, very frustrating to everybody sitting up here. I will say that the Saginaw News did absolutely no justice for Bridgeport with the headline that they published. When they said speaking 3 minutes, that is absolutely not true. I haven't ordered you thrown in jail. People have spoken longer than 3 minutes in the past, and I haven't told them to sit down. I mean, if they went on and on and on and on, I might ask, okay, can you kind of get there, and, you know, that kind of thing. But the 3 minutes has never been, like, 3 minutes is up, sit down and shut up. Never happened before. Ask anybody that's attended board meetings regularly. That is absolutely not true. And it's very, very upsetting when that kind of thing happens, because They talk about fair and balanced reporting. That is the kind of reporting that you would see in something like the National Enquirer or the Globe or that kind of thing. The sensationalized headlines. And I'll go on record as saying it was pathetic that the Saga News did it that way. No, I'm not going to go any further at the present time than that. As far as your other questions, if you would like, Rose and I'm here, I'm not full-time, but I'm here just about every day for a period of time anyway. If you want to call and talk to Rose, you'd be more than welcome to come in. We'd sit down and be happy to discuss what you're talking about relative to a town hall meeting or the kind of things. With that, you talk about people participating and being informed. We've got what's called constant contact, and I've made it announcements at numerous times at board meetings. We've had documents down on the desk downstairs. If people would like to leave their email, they don't even leave their name if they're concerned about that. We send out the agenda, we send out the minutes, the planning commission minutes, the PDA minutes, all of those things. And that allows people, plus announcements like Bridge Fest coming up maybe, or rubbish pickup is starting, or those kind of things. And so more people can, and I understand not everybody can make it to the meeting, not everybody wants to bother coming to the meeting, but at least we can get out some information of what's happening. Now, I can't just sign up everybody in the township. I'd like to, but they have to volunteer to have that happen. And if you want to help us out with that, I'd be more than glad to have the help. We would be more than glad to have
I've
that.
struggled with events that I planned it myself.
Well,
from involvement, community involvement. But I do appreciate that.
with that, if you would call, talk to Rose, I'd be more than glad to sit down and discuss some of those issues with you. Anybody that wants to have some input in a positive manner, even if they want to criticize and try and say that maybe you could do this differently or something, more than happy to sit and talk with them. There's many residents that's happened. There's a couple sitting here. I can see right now that have come in, and Rose and I have sat down and talked to them. Because we want that feedback. We want that information given to us. And how to disseminate all that out there to all these people and have them understand is tough. Particularly the incident that you're talking about. It's very, very frustrating. But with that, I won't say more.
But as a township in whole, citizens, our schools, we here in this room need to do something for them as well. That's where I'm going with the town hall meeting. It's not just here. It's the entire community. It's business. It's history. It's new business. It's anything that this town is struggling with, and that is quite a bit of things that we are struggling with. We need to make progress. We need to improve.
Okay, thank you.
That, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to make public comment? Anyone else like to make public comment?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Robert Zelli, been a resident since 1965. Have not been involved the last few years like I was for many, many, many years here. I've been involved with Park and Rec, been involved with a lot of different things all the years you're here. You can't help but be involved. Again, I don't want to see anything negative happen in this community either. Something that Mr. Thayer is pointing out to me is we can always, see the negative, but it's good to focus on positive things. And what I saw there on YouTube really bothered me. There's no doubt a bigger story here, and that's what I'm kind of wondering. Is anybody here has ever sat down with this gentleman and really found out where his pain lies, where his anger is? This isn't a local. This guy's got national connections. This is about 50,000 people out there on YouTube. This is not a bright light or a positive story that's going on. And it doesn't matter if it's Saginaw News. We've all dealt with their headlines for years. They've never been really positive for Bridgeport. So forum is a great idea. I think that would be a good start. I do think when you have a thriving community, you have a good school system. So if we don't have the kind of school system that our children deserve, you're not going to have the kind of community that we deserve. So we need to talk about the school. You may think it's separation, but maybe one idea is to have the township and the school start working in the same arena together, because you're not going to have a good community if you don't have a good school system. I don't care what position you're in. I know what it's like to be treated, though, as an insider, but I also know what it's like to be treated as an insider. And if you don't always agree with some of the leadership here, it can be real hard on you. I've been very involved with the Park and Rec, and I've probably done more coaching here in Little League and sports than anybody, but for whatever reason, if you get on the wrong side of the wrong leadership, again, they can treat you real bad. So I don't like any resident being treated bad. And when I see that, it makes me come out here and speak on it. And so if you have not sat down with this man, based on your legal situation, you may not be able to, but I did go sit down with this guy. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know Mark Adams for a hole in the wall, but now I know him. And I don't know what you guys even know what you're dealing with here. This guy is, he's it's not about hurting Bridgeport. It's not about hurting. I think he just wanted to be left alone. I think he just wanted to have a little place over here, a little paradise over here in Bridgeport. And for whatever reason, he's truly believes that it's being interfered with. So if I could, I think we should restart, reset the button, restart it, somehow, some way, resolve this. I really think you should find a way to get the legal system out of it. Don't hurt this man any more than what you've done already. I don't know what he's done to you guys, but I don't know if he deserves what he got. I don't know the whole story. I only know his side. I have talked to a few of you about it, but he's been around Bridgeport quite a while through the years. He was born, family was here, young, but I just think we ought to, living and growing together is our supposed to be our mantra. Well, if you disagree with him, that's okay, but I don't believe we should try to destroy him or hurt him in any way legally. So whatever you can do there, that would be great. We don't need that negative energy in the community right now. We got enough of it here already, so thank you.
Thank you. I can assure you that no one is trying to destroy anyone, sir. And it's sad, again, that the whole story can't be told. As far as the school system, we have worked, this board is working very closely with the DDA, with the Chamber of Commerce, and with the school system on Parks and Rec, Parks and Rec, and coordinating things with the school system and that kind of thing. This board, again, my statement about the school, I didn't mean that we were separate from them totally. I meant that we had no control over the school system relative to their budget and all those kinds of things. That's what I was saying, so I don't want it to be interpreted that I said we're separate and we're not working with them. We work with them all the time. Okay? Thank you. Would anyone else like to make public comment?
Hi, Kim Schultz here, 3707 South Tower Lane. Just to let you know, as one person that has complained about Mark Adams, I thought you handled it very well. I didn't think any of you got out of line. I think he has just been after what he's getting. He isn't following any ordinances, any codes, or anything here in the township. If you have one person like that doesn't follow them, yeah, I can go out and put a building on some property too and live in it part-time. I mean, come on. The man may have money, he may have pools, but follow our rules and regulations.
Sue, excuse me, Sue. I appreciate what you're saying, but it is not fair to get on Mr. Adams in that respect. That he's not here.
No, he isn't.
The situation will be handled.
I have been there with his fireworks and seen the dog crying and listened to it on weekends. And it's the neighbors, the people in the area are tired of it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to make public comment? Anyone Okay, we'll move into new business now. Number one on the agenda is to amend the Water Department rules and regulations.
I'd like to make a motion to approve amending the Water Department rules and regulations as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to amend the Water Department rules and regulations as presented. So everyone understands what this is about. I know all the board members have already seen this and looked it over. We've had some issues recently, particularly with the frost being as deep as it was this year, where some residents who have had their water lines in for many years and still have galvanized pipe leading from the water main or the meter itself up to their property, or their resident, I should say, or building, whatever. And when there's, those are no longer legal, but they're kind of grandfathered in. And if I may speak, please correct me. But they can stay there until the point that they have a problem. And at the point they have a problem, then they have to replace that water line, whether it be 30 feet or 200 feet or whatever the case may be, and put in either plastic or galvanized or copper. That's, yeah. So anyway, we've had 4 or 5 of them this winter, I believe, somewhere around there. And obviously this can result in a pretty fair expense in some cases. So what the amendment would entail is, and I'll just, let me see here. Any customer that is required to replace the galvanized line will be offered an option for the cost to be placed on an installment loan. The installment loan options are 12 or 24 months. If the installment loan becomes delinquent, the water line may be disconnected from the water main. Once disconnected, all costs to disconnect, reconnect, and installment loan monies must be paid in full before the water service will be reinstated. That pretty well covers what you were. Okay, anybody have any questions on board?
I have a question. Just about I want clarification on the meter testing.
Goodness.
Sorry, on the meter testing, whether it was 35 or 50? It's a typo.
It's a typo.
Okay.
It sounds like that 50 was approved in December,
Okay.
but there's
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Okay. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the regulations are amended. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is add financial institution to the township list.
I'll make a motion to approve adding Chemical Bank to the Bridgeport Township 2014 list of financial institutions.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve adding Chemical Bank to the Bridgeport Township 2014 list of financial institutions. Anyone have any questions? Nothing. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No opposition. Motion passes. Thank you. Number 3, add attorney to the township list. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve adding the law firm of McGraw-Morris PC to the Bridgeport Charter Township 2014 list of attorneys as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion been made and seconded to approve adding the law firm of McGraw-Morris, private public corporation, to the Bridgeport Charter Township 2014 list of attorneys. Anyone have any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Passes. Thank you. Number 4, Davis Park Bridge inspection.
Make a motion to approve the inspection of Davis Park Bridge by Spicer Group, not to exceed $2,500.
Second.
seconded to approve the inspection of the Davis Park Bridge by the Spicer Group not to exceed $2,500. The board is aware of the issue there, but for clarification, we have two issues going on. That bridge has not been utilized for quite a long time. Consequently, it wasn't inspected, hasn't been inspected. So we're well beyond the point that we would need to have an inspection. We've already approved, the board already approved to have the antique car show, is that what it is? Car show? Bridge car show. On Davis Park. It was there quite a few years ago. And also there was a grant sent in to the possibility of putting a canoe launch out in that area. So we need to have that inspected. The Spicer Group has handled this in the past. They have all the history on it. So if anyone has any questions, comments, anything at all? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. There's the account payable.
I move that we approve check number 56539 through 56649 in the amount of $206,548.84.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded to approve checks 56539 through 56649, the amount of $206,548.84. Everyone looked at the register. Questions? Comments? Any problems? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? With that, we go to board comments. Mr. Secord.
No comment.
Ms. Guerra.
Yes. So, obviously I've gotten a lot of feedback about the incident with Mr. Adams, and, when I ran for this position, I did so because I'm from this community and I love this community, and I want it to be a place that is united, and right now it's not very united. There's not a lot that I can say about the issue because of the pending criminal charges, and so I can't address that directly, but what I will say is that I can't change what happened, but that I would like to make changes so that we can prevent incidents like that from happening in the future. And one of the things that I think that would help that is if we do maybe, lengthen that amount of time, because 3 minutes might not fit all situations. People might need more than 3 minutes. The other thing that I would like to do is that make sure that residents know that you can make meetings. You can also make meetings with us. I haven't reached out to Mr. Adams, like I said, because of the pending criminal charges, but I also hadn't been reached out by him, so I didn't know about the situation or that this incident was going to happen. And not to say that he needs to shoulder any of that blame, but I do want people to know that I'm here because I said I was going to listen to you, and I am, and I stand by that. And I hope that you reach out to me when you have those concerns. And from here on out, I hope that we can get Bridgeport in the right direction. And as the gentleman said, I think that community forum is a great idea. I'm ashamed that I didn't think of that myself, because we do need to make connections with all the organizations and with the school district and with the township. And like Augie said, those connections are made, but we do need to strengthen them and work on them together. So I would like to help you out in that. And again, I just want everyone to know that I am here to listen to you, and that if you have concerns, please reach out to me. My information's on the website. I have business cards. There's an email address and a phone number on the business card, so please know that I'm always here for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Walter.
I don't have any.
Oh, I'm sorry. Heather.
I'd like to thank Garnett Lewis for coming out. Good luck in your run. Appreciate everybody's public comments, and I hope that all of you know that I'm definitely pro Bridgeport and making good things happen in the community. So, that said, that's all we got. Have a good evening.
I've said that before, that, contact Rose, contact me, contact any board member. I generally say that because Rose works here full-time. I'm retired. I'm pretty much available. I come and go during the day. So, but yes, you're free to contact any board member, obviously. I too am quite disturbed about the recent incident. I wish I could say more. I can tell you that we have worked as a board very hard to communicate. We've worked very hard with establishing a good relationship with the DDA, again, with the chamber, with the school board, and try to coordinate that across Bridgeport. We want to get the summer programs going. Bill's working very hard to get that going because I believe, I say I, everybody here does, that we need to do whatever we can to give children an opportunity to do something during the summer so they're not out doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I only wish that we could get more parents, more people involved with it. Anybody's got any ideas, anybody's got any suggestions, anybody wants to volunteer, any of that kind of stuff, it would greatly be appreciated. We've had some people that are doing really good things. Had people out collecting, making donations for an Easter egg hunt and those kinds of things. And those are great. I'd love to have the participation. We need all the help we can get. If you've got recommendations of making things better, how we can do that, we're more than happy to listen to them. Again, Rose and I are here just about every day. I'm here. But if you don't want to talk to either one of us, talk to one of the other board members. That's just fine. But we want to continue working together as one community, making Bridgeport better. That's all of our goals. That's all we're interested in. There's not anybody sitting up here with any feeling of any great power or that kind of thing. That's I shouldn't say bull crap, but that's what it is if somebody's making that kind of a statement. So, with that, I believe, Rose, you're all set. Sure, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the regular meeting of the Bridgeport Charter Township Board.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. I also want to say thank you to everybody that came out tonight. Appreciate